Well, the Wizards have evened the game at 20. They've scored 8 straight. Dragic drawing the foul on Troy Brown Jr. has a chance at a three-point play.
To get back to that stat, if there's any game you need to get the three-point shooting kinks out, especially for guys like Davis, it's tonight.
Doesn't seem like your typical Miami Heat defense.
Yeah, they're down.
Troy Brown Jr. hits the three to tie it up.
Handoff to Dragic, back to Avery Bradley, deep in the corner with 2 to shoot. Blocked by Troy Brown Jr. Handoff to Dragic, back to Avery Bradley, deep in the corner with 2 to shoot. Blocked by Troy Brown Jr. End of possession. Miami goes back to defense, protecting a 1-point lead. Troy Brown had it blocked by Bam. Put in by Beal. Bradley pressuring Troy Brown Jr. That's what Avery does best. Matthews, thank goodness he didn't make that. The ghost of Garrison Matthews has haunted the Heat twice in his 30-game NBA career. Now's the time to have the Miami Heat app downloaded and your notifications turned on. The Heat app is your key to managing your mobile tickets and getting alerts on all game day health and safety protocols.
And then when he was in Oklahoma City as a Thunder, when he had that knee surgery, he was out. But he was doing a great job coaching.
Miami to use a clock.
Strus missing the corner 3. Now Max Strus, dangerous shooter.
They allow so many easy baskets. If you move the ball and attack off the dribble, you can get all the way to the rim, so you don't necessarily have to kick it out for open threes.
Duncan Robinson, he's hunting for a 3. Missed it, and the rebound down to Troy Brown Jr. So the Heat are now 1 for 5 from downtown. Abdia, oh, he's got some athleticism.
Duncan Robinson. Rebound for Troy Brown Jr.
Great contest right there.
Abdia with the finger roll.
Has decreased. He was a 39% three-point shooter last year. Small sample size this year, but just 31% so far from downtown. Heat by 7. Troy Brown Jr. getting his own miss back. Has decreased. He was a 39% three-point shooter last year. Small sample size this year, but just 31% so far from downtown. Heat by 7. Troy Brown Jr. getting his own miss back. No defensive change for Miami. Iguodala in for Olynyk. Troy Brown Jr. fires for 3 and misses it.
Nice lob over the top to Precious.
7 points for Achua. Beal comes back with a missed shot. That's Troy Brown Jr. as the third quarter comes to a close.
Bug has all of a sudden happened as well in the second half, and we've seen that really be crippling for Miami, as Coach Spoelstra calls it.
Butler draws the foul from behind on Troy Brown Jr. Game is even at 85, 8th tie tonight. Troy Brown Jr. unties him.
Kick basketball with numbers in the break. He'd have to do a better job matching up earlier, communicating and getting out to the shooters like Bertan.
And make shot clock at 5. Troy Brown Jr. has it knocked away by Bam, gets it back and knocks it down. We got a 1-point game going with just under 4 minutes left. Troy Brown Jr. And the long rebound to Hachimura. Olynyk could not reel it in.